Oklahoman newsroom, this is an OU update. I'm Jenny Carlson here in studio. As the Sooners prepare for this 2018 season, the defensive backfield is an ongoing, evolving position, you could say. Some new faces back there expected to play big roles, but some returners as well that the Sooners expect to be improved. Ryan Aber joins us on the phone. And Ryan, maybe prime among those guys returning that are expected to make some big jumps, Trey Norwood, who you wrote about for the Thursday Oklahoman. Why do they expect such a change out of Norwood?
Well, I think it's as much physical as anything. Kerry Cooks told me that when he looked out and watched Trey Norwood on film and things after last season, he looked like a 12-year-old out there and was just sort of playing on instinct. Maybe wasn't physically ready to contribute as much as he had to last year, as he was forced into a starting role after Jordan Thomas's injury, and then held it really after Jordan Thomas came back healthy. But they really think Trey Norwood is going to make a big leap. He's a guy that they really like coming out of Arkansas. Wasn't a big-time recruit nationally, but they felt like he fit in with what they've done, and they think he's going to make another big leap this season.
You know, when you talk about guys returning that could be improved, Jordan Parker is back, and he's playing a different position. But then you also have Robert Barnes, who was young a year ago. He'll be back. Justin Broyles, he'll be playing, we think, for the first time in that maybe early rotation for the defensive backfield. How do you see these pieces coming together? How are they seeing these pieces coming together, Ryan?
Well, you mentioned Robert Barnes and Justin Broyles, and I think that free safety spot is maybe one of the position battles that we don't talk about very much that's going to be key for this team. Barnes played a little bit last year, was hurt a couple times, was sort of stop and start with him. Justin Broyles redshirted, but they really, really like what Justin Broyles has done. They say that Broyles brings energy to the secondary, and he's been compared to guys like Eric Stryker and Baker Mayfield for the energy that he brings to that group, and certainly that's something that that unit needs. So that's going to be something really to watch. I think there's no doubt that Justin Broyles is going to play a role, but the question is he going to be able to beat out Robert Barnes, a guy who virtually beat him out a year ago to earn playing time? So that's going to be fun to watch. The other thing at nickel is to see what they do. Brendan Radley Hiles, the five-star freshman, he's going to get on the field. The question is where. It looks like nickel is going to be the primary slot for him. I think he's going to be more of like a Stephen Parker type that can play nickel, can slide over to safety when you don't need him at that nickel spot. So he's virtually always on the field. But they really like the versatility that he brings as a true freshman to be able to allow them to do some of the different things that you really have to do in the Big 12 to defend well.
Well, you mentioned Radley Hiles, Ryan. I think he's probably the most talked about member of this freshman class, a guy that everybody expected from the get-go would be seeing some playing time pretty significantly, whether as a starter or inserted in certain situations quickly. But what are we hearing about how he's performed? I mean, he is still a true freshman. He arrived on campus early, yes, but are we hearing that he's adjusting, that he's able to handle what's sure to be a tough position playing in that defensive backfield as a true freshman?
Yeah, he garnered a ton of praise in the spring for how quickly he was able to come up to speed in the secondary, and really at that time they felt like he didn't look like a true freshman. Physically, there's no doubt that he's ready to play. Still a little bit, he is a little bit undersized. He's not a huge guy at what I think it's under 5'10", but he's got the build to be able to do some different things for them. He can play virtually anywhere in the secondary, which allows them to be versatile on the back end. That said, there's going to be some growing pains with him, just like there was with Kenneth Murray when they threw him into a tough spot last year, having to start at middle linebacker. I don't think it's going to be all roses for Brendan Radley Hiles to start off with, but I would imagine by midway through the season, this guy is going to be a really, really big piece of what they're doing on the back end.
All right, if you want to know more about the defensive backfield, Ryan has a position breakdown and outlook in the Thursday Oklahoman, as well as News OK and theoklahoman.com. So be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.